Alrighty, so we're recording now. So thank you all for joining us today. I'm Carrie. I'm from Fairfield County. If you guys want to go ahead and do introductions again, go for it. Birdie, take it off.
Hi, I'm Bertie Abel with Licking County Recycling Education Coordinator. Glad to have everyone. I think Sharon's one of ours here in Licking County, so glad to have Sharon joining us. That's the introduction.
Tammy, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Tammy Rogers. I'm with Coshocton County Recycling and Litter Prevention. And I don't have anybody that decided to join me today. So hopefully I'll learn, maybe Katrina could give me some tips on how to bug that many people.
And with that, I'm Katrina Carpenter, the bad penny that just keeps showing up. I represent the Perry County Waste Reduction and Recycling Program, and I'm just delighted to be here with my co-educators.
We'll go jump on into the quick presentation about the Valentines and sustainability. You guys feel free to jump in, ask questions, things like that. It's going to be pretty brief, and then we'll go around and talk about county updates and what's happening with everybody's county. So one of the focuses is Valentine's Day. We all know it's a huge commercial holiday that we celebrate our loved ones and shower them with gifts and food and things of that nature. However, what?
Hey, showered with Valentine's Day gifts, but
shower them. Anywho, it's super wasteful. Valentine's Day is not the greenest holiday of them all. A lot of times we like to say we think about pink and red, but there's no green. So we're trying to make Valentine's Day more sustainable. Over 1 billion cards are thrown out every Valentine's Day. And a lot of them are not being able to be recycled because they're coated with glitter, they're laminated, they have metals on them and things of that nature, which makes them, unfortunately, not recyclable. Roughly, I read a statistic, it takes one tree to make 3,000 cards, Valentine's Day cards. So if we're producing 1 billion cards a year for one day for Valentine's Day, that's roughly 300,000 trees that are being chopped down just for a card that somebody may or may not put on their fridge or instantly throw it away in their trash can. So that's super unfortunate. So one way you can try to avoid making waste with your Valentine's Day cards is just by purchasing cards that are made from recycled paper, or you can just simply make a card, then recycle it later, and then look for Valentine's Day cards that don't have a lot of glitter or no glitter, ribbons, things of that nature. One of the focuses that Valentine's Day also emphasizes there's a lot of glitter on decor and things of that nature. So glitter is litter is a fun saying. Glitter is actually microplastics. It harms wildlife, and with microplastics, they can stay around this earth for hundreds of years. It can go up the food chain very easily and things of that nature. Glitter, a lot of people don't realize what it's made from. It's made from peat, so what plastic bottles are made from. And then it's coated with aluminum to give it the shine, and then it's covered with another layer of thin plastic. So that's what glitter is made of. Glitter is essentially microplastics, just we're making them instead of bottles breaking down, which is super unfortunate. So recommend trying to avoid glitter. There is ways you can, which I recommend Pinteresting this, looking up how you can make sustainable glitter at home by using sugar and food coloring. That's a great alternative if you want to decor. I know Valentine's Day shoe boxes for elementary students, that's always a big hit, and it's a great way to reuse. That's a great way to reuse items during Valentine's Day, but try to make it as sustainable as possible by using that sustainable alternative to glitter, which is sugar. Not only do we have the actual trash aspect of Valentine's Day, you have to also consider the carbon emissions. Roughly, we use 190 million roses are given out on Valentine's Day, as well as 58 million pounds of chocolate is consumed during Valentine's Day. A lot of these resources we have to fly out from different countries or different states. That doesn't include the pesticides we're using to make these to make chocolate, to preserve the trees, to preserve the flowers and things of that nature. So Valentine's Day, all in all, it's not the most sustainable, but there is ways. You can look for fair trade chocolates, look for locally made chocolates. Instead of giving out roses and cut flowers, give out plants. Plants are a great alternative. They live forever if you have somewhat of a green thumb. And it's something that your loved one can enjoy not only for a week, but they can enjoy it for months or even years. I also recommend for an alternative to gifts, instead of doing teddy bears, because that's also wasteful. How often, unless you're a little kid, how often are you going to keep the stuffed animal, things of that nature? If you donate it, is it really going to be bought, or is it just going to be thrown out? So I recommend for giving people experiences, pay for a cooking class, go to a nature preserve, take a hike. Things don't have to cost money. You can just, or if you want to afford something, donate a significant amount of money or whatever you can to an organization, a charitable organization that means a lot to your loved one. That'll put a smile to your loved one's face and to that charity's face. Purchase local, go to your craft stores, support local businesses. That also helps reduce your carbon emissions as well. And if you're going to look for jewelry, look for sustainable jewelry. The diamond industry is actually really harmful to our environment. So look for like lab-grown diamonds and things of that nature. There's a lot of things you can look for as alternatives. So just keep that in mind. Look for buy recycled products, buy experiences, and just try to avoid the glitzy stuff. Anybody else have anything to chime in on for that?
Oh my goodness, that was excellent, Carrie. You pretty much covered the gamut there. Very well done.
I try. If anybody has questions, like I said, go ahead and feel free to jump on in, or has statements or anything of that nature. So I think we can just go ahead and jump on into the county updates right now. I'll just shoot for Fairfield counties. So what's happening in Fairfield County is a lot. Right now we're in the middle of doing billboard contest for all third graders. We reached out to all the schools and their teachers decide if they want to pick it up or not. So we're in the middle of billboard contest season as of now. That'll end by March 3rd is when they have to have their entries in. So then we'll have a big billboard displayed in downtown Lancaster, which is really exciting for the winner, and it's really exciting for the school as well. So we're happy to be able to, and fortunate to be able to put that on this year. A lot of them were just sending out recorded videos. I have a couple live virtual presentations. We're just not going into schools since the county is red. We're still collecting bottle caps. We've so far collected, the one group we've collected 1,000. In total, we've collected 1,300 pounds of bottle caps. The group we're working on right now needs 700 more pounds to finish up their project. We're constantly getting more clubs and organizations interested in collecting bottle caps. So I can't see us ending collecting bottle caps anytime soon. So, which is great. I mean, we're going to have a lot of benches around Fairfield County that are made from recycled material, which is really exciting. And hopefully that educates people too on buying recycled and that there is an alternative to your waste. Lastly, which is a big one in Fairfield County, we were exposed to COVID and 73% of our staff is currently quarantined. So with that said, right now we have 4 people in total in the recycling staff. Only one can drive a compactor, one can do all the trailers, and then it's Jenny and I in the office. So we went around to all of our sites. All of our residential sites are temporarily closed. We closed down our drive-through lane. We closed down our scrap metal lane. The only bins that we have open right now to the public are the bins out front of the recycling center, which those who are listening in Fairfield County, that's 1761 East Main Street. We're trying to just keep those open so that way people can still have a way to recycle. We're just asking people and our commercial customers too, just to hang on to their material. If all goes well, we should be at full staff or possibly full staff by February 8th. So we're in the middle of that. So it's a fun time, but we just keep encouraging people. And we also kind of encourage them too. It's a great way, as a spinoff to this, it's a great way to tell people to reduce their waste. I mean, it's a good reflection of, if you have to hold on to those materials for that long, you see how much you're wasting. And yes, it's being recycled, but the whole mission is to reduce, then reuse, and recycle. So, and a spin-off of it, it is a good kind of learning curve for everyone and how we can move forward. We're very fortunate that this is the first time since COVID that we've had to totally shut down everything. But our hope is that we can get things up and running and just manage it. We're just asking people just to hang on to that material. And if you do end up going to the site, just please, just hold on to it. But other than that, that's what's happening in Fairfield County. So it's good times right now. But we're really fortunate though that we've been 9-10 months into a pandemic, and this is the first time that it's happened. So we're lucky for that. Other than that, that's what I have for Fairfield. So Tammy, you want to go?
Sure. We hopefully I had 3 school programs that got canceled kind of last minute in January, which, you know, you kind of see that coming, but you get so excited about getting out there and then find out that you still can't get out there, and it's a little disheartening. I've got 3 more set up for February, so I'm hopeful that I will be able to go into the schools and get those programs in there and start getting back into talking with the kids, because let's face it, doing the quarterly reports are super fun, but it just doesn't take the place of going into the schools and talking to the kids and having that connection with people. So I'm really looking forward to that. Working with the City of Coshocton and the United Way, and also Lake Park, which is one of our big parks in Coshocton County. And we've kind of collectively decided that we are having our big cleanup days this spring. That is happening because it's going to happen outdoors. People can social distance, you can wear your gloves, etc. So that we have kind of all decided that that's something that needs to occur this year, if nothing else. So we've got those scheduled. Still just working basically on doing, you know, this social media aspect of keeping people in touch with what can you recycle, where can you recycle this, why can't you recycle that, and just hitting that education any way I can. I'm very fortunate here in Coshocton County. WTNS 99.3 on your FM dial lets me come on every other month and just chit chat about recycling, which doesn't sound that interesting, but we always start out saying, okay, we'll talk for a half an hour or so, and it always goes at least an hour. I take live calls, so that's one more way we can become interactive and good working respect and so forth with WTNS. So that's been very helpful. But other than that, it's just keep plugging along, just keep making emailing and begging, and when can I come into your school, and when would you like me to come talk to your group, and we'll get there. So just plugging along.
That's exciting about the live calls. I like that, because that's the thing. When I did a radio spiel a while back, a lot of people called after. So I think that's a really cool opportunity.
Yeah, and a lot, you know. And Katrina, I know we were on a Zoom meeting earlier today, and you said you just keep repeating yourself and repeating yourself and repeating yourself. But if that's what it takes, you know, that's what it takes. And eventually, you know, if you can get 1 person, 3 people to get that connection and think about, oh, diapers don't go in the recycling, you know, that a little bit helps every time. So it seems repetitively redundant, but it works.
Yep.
It's just key of our jobs, just constantly pushing that information out and being like, hey, this is what you recycle. Don't contaminate. Whatever you do, just don't contaminate.
Exactly. Calm, empty, clean, and dry.
Right, exactly. Katrina, do you want to go next?
Sure. Perry County is really promoting our defining reuse oral history scholarship project to the hilt right now. The end of February, the 26th is the deadline. And if you know any Perry County resident high schoolers that are grade 9 through 12, seek out an elder person, a grandparent or a friend or a neighbor that remembers life in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and interview that person. Submit your entry to me. All our information is on our website, perryrecycling.com, and your message will forever be archived with the Perry County Library in the digital shoebox, which is a worldwide program, a memories program. So all the last 6 years of our projects that we've done, the students that have participated and spoke with these people, their conversations are archived forever. It's an oral history project that was started years ago. And I've just taken the angle of talking about reuse and helping young people and anyone else who cares to listen to these conversations to remember the importance of reuse and how people back in the old days, the use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without, the old Depression era slogan. There's so much we can learn from talking to these elder folks. I call them elders. You know, they're wise. They've been around. They know. They've been through it. And hopefully that message can be carried on and archived and listened to by others. So the project lives on. Our local groups, organizations, all the Legions and Elks and Eagles, they pitched in every year. It's in Tunnel Hill landfill. They pitch in. We have $1,500 to give first place. And I don't know, it'll shake out. It'll be, several hundred for second and third place as well. We still have final donations coming in. So that's our big project for this month into February. The Green School Challenge is a new thing we're trying. It's open to all schools, pre-K, all the way to our one, Hocking College. So whoever wants to participate, and it's a pilot project. It's on the honor system where you have a point system. It's a spreadsheet. All this information is on our website as well, but you can enter, assign points to what you have in place currently in your building, submit it to us by the deadline, the first week of April 3rd, I believe it is. And we want to recognize that school for Earth Day, whether it's going to be virtual, whether we can do an Earth Day event, that still, stands to be decided. Probably, who knows? Probably not, but we'll see what happens. We'll do whatever we can do to recognize these folks. And we have a prize for the winning school from last year, because that kind of fell through because of the COVID shutdown. So Waste Management, our other landfill in Perry County, has sponsored a water refill station for the winning school. So that encourages the idea of reuse as well. So that's what we have going on. The litter pickup effort, there's an interesting twist we're going to try, and maybe I can share that with you if we have another roundtable next month or whatever date we decide, you guys. I'd like to share it with everyone and see how it goes. Always trying to change it up and do something, to get people's interest and involve people. And helping pick up litter is where it's at. We all have to pitch in and change that habit. So that's where I'll stop, and I'll pass it over to Verdi.
Thanks. Just like everyone else, having challenges getting into Licking County schools. So to kind of formalize that, even though it's not formal, I did an informal survey of about 20 educators that are always active, and almost to a T, they came back that visitors aren't allowed into schools. They don't predict any change for the rest of the year. Hopefully in 21, 22, things will change. Zoom was kind of favored, but again, almost to a T, every one of them that responded said Zoom would be great, but teachers just don't have time because this year is such a mess trying to work with hybrid schedules and those types of things. So reaching out to educators almost weekly with some message but it's spinning wheels. Everyone knows that. So to help get out a little bit into the community, I'm starting a monthly newsletter, e-newsletter. Did quarterly ones for years. Now we're doing monthly. Pretty simple, but at least it's getting us in front of a few hundred people on a regular basis. And it's easy to do. I just come up with a template and plug stuff in. Pretty darn simple. This month also we are doing Valentine's Day craft bags that we're passing out. Next week, we only have enough for 20, but we had an education group, I forget if it was a school system, turn in a bunch of stuff to be recycled. And of course, there were piles and piles of papers with binder clips on them. Some of the big binder clips that aren't recyclable. So we snagged those, and we're doing a couple of crafts based on Valentine's Day and a spring sign craft. So that inspired me to do a little research. I'm kind of a statistics guy. Who knows how many paper clips we really use, but there's some research that indicates we use about 11 billion paper clips in this country every year. Now that didn't specify binder clips, but it's an indication. And if you just kind of assume that there's about 1,000 paper clips per pound, because there's different sizes and things like that. Most of those end up in the trash or maybe recycling, but that means we are probably throwing away about 11 million pounds of paper clips every year. 11 million pounds of metal going into the ground. And again, none of that's really empirical data, but it's an index of we're throwing away a lot of stuff that we don't have to. So every time I do a craft bag, they get a pretty extensive sheet of information to get them thinking, at least. Doing a little research right now on St. Patrick's Day crafts. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Kind of hard to find something that doesn't focus on a toilet paper tube, because that's what everyone wants to make, are leprechaun hats out of toilet paper tubes. I'm not doing it. So looking at some other options if I can find something. Let's see, we have a few changes in our public bins coming up. We're going to have to eliminate a couple of sites that aren't really productive whatsoever. They're just using a lot of money. And one site, we have someone, one of the hosts wants us to get rid of an entire site. Unfortunately, it's a pretty popular site. So we'll see how that goes. Last year, our final numbers are in. After contamination, we did about 4.8 million pounds of recycling. That's pretty realistic number. Unfortunately, that's down from in the past. We've done as many as 7 million pounds in the past, but that doesn't mean you know, all of that's perfect. We'll have to see how the future goes. One positive thing is that Rumpke is now allowing us to recycle tubs. I think that's backwards for me. I'm not sure if it's backwards for everyone else. Rumpke is now taking butter tubs, cottage cheese, sour cream, whipped topping, all of those things. So, you know, weight-wise, that's not a huge change, but it's a big emotional or philosophical change, that there's a whole nother group of what used to be forbidden items that are now acceptable. So those yogurt cups that used to have to go to Whole Foods over in Columbus, we can take those. That's all good news. So been pushing that quite a bit. And of course, making the best we can out of social media. Facebook's the main player here, but we're ramping up our Instagram account and posting a few more things there and trying to do some stuff. So that's kind of Licking County in a nutshell. Any questions? Be happy to address that. I'm the last of the educators. So Carrie, you're hosting us. I'll toss it back to you for a moment. And not sure what our time is like, but we've got a few minutes, I believe.
We have about 8 minutes left until we get kicked off of Zoom, but that's one thing I think is the hardest thing, losing the sites. I mean, it's a bummer, because the people that are using it, it's great for them. It's a great resource. And then they get pulled because either A, they're not bringing in enough materials, or B, for us, we get a lot of times people just no longer want the site. So
that's where we're at. Yeah.
If anybody's listening, listening and knows of any businesses, churches, and I think we can speak for this for all the counties that are wanting to pick up a site to become a residential site, give us a call. Like all the recycling centers, we're constantly looking to expand our resources, test out the water, see if this would be a busy site or just to help lessen some of the demand for some of our popular sites. Because that's one thing. The success of recycling depends upon you. It depends upon every individual, every businesses and industries, how you guys recycle, whether or not you're paying attention to what you can throw into the bin or not. I mean, it all matters on you, and it bases off of how much money we're actually spending sending the trash to the landfill, or how much we're actually truly diverting. But we definitely need more host sites. The more host sites we can have, the more we can divert waste, the more waste, and use those host sites and share the good word and get it out that, hey, there's options. Because a lot of times people think recycling is inconvenient, which it doesn't have to be. We're trying to make it as easy. I think all of our 4 counties, we're trying our best. And then we're always game and open to suggestions too. So
yes, and being mindful of what area you're in. There's little differences on what materials are accepted where you live. Where we are in Perry County is a little bit different than what Verde is offering up in Licking County, what you're offering over in Fairfield and over in Coshocton as well. And you guys might have heard me say hello to Rosemary. She's an educator just kind of starting off with her position with the Athens Hocking recycling program. So Rosemary, it's nice to have you here. And I know she's doing good things as well. And I heard just the other day that you guys are accepting film plastic for or somebody in that area is taking film plastics for a special, it's kind of like an education project, like the plastic cap collection project, Carrie.
Exactly. Yeah. You kind of caught me off guard there when you said that we were accepting film plastic. I was like, no, we're not. But yes, for that.
I wanted to clarify
not
that.
at our MRF, but at yeah, I actually, those lines crossed recently. I ran into someone who was talking about the bottle cap collection for making benches, and someone like a couple hours prior to that conversation had told me about accepting plastic film for benches. I guess they're 2 separate projects, and so this is all coming full circle because I was very confused. I was like, is it bottle caps or is it plastic film? Like, where did the bottle caps come from? Because it turns out it is plastic film. So I guess they're just, I'd be curious to pick your brain about that, Katrina, or anyone here. I don't know where the benches came from. That's not something that we're doing. That's actually, I think, some sort of civic group. I don't know who exactly it is, but AHRC and the Solid Waste District are, wait, let me fix my words. I think the Solid Waste District is somehow involved, but not AHRC, who is who I'm mostly representing.
Right. Yep, you're the educator for the Athens Hocking Recycling Center, right? Yeah. And then the Solid Waste District kind of is operating kind of in partnership with you, but separate, right? Yeah. So
yeah, so I actually, just to clear that up, so our rural drop-off sites, we have 21 of them throughout Athens and Hocking counties, and my job is to station myself next to those sites and approach people when they come to use it and tell them about contamination and all that jazz. And all of those sites are sponsored by the Solid Waste District, so not all of the material that AHRC collects has to do with the Solid Waste District, but that is our relationship.
Okay. That's good. Well, we'll continue our conversation maybe together in an email and let each other know what's happening with these special projects that are meant to raise awareness. Like Carrie was talking about the bottle cap, plastic caps and lids, and then this film is a different. I think it's TerraCycle maybe that's doing this film project, and it is a youth-based. It's a promise kind of contract, I think, that they have to sign. And in Perry County, we have people, I'm like you, Carrie, I'm going to have people bringing me caps till the cows come home, because they know we have a connection with youth groups that are collecting them. So once it starts, it kind of never ends. And that's okay, as long as we can find groups that are willing and able to sign a contract and commit to collect so many 100 pounds for whatever bench or picnic table they're wanting to have a sponsor for. They find a sponsor. It's about a third the cost, I think. And that company is Wadsworth, Ohio, that we're kind of connected to for the bottle cap project.
The plastics are unique. That's who we're going through. Well, most of the groups. A couple of the groups are still going to the one, Green Tree Plastics out in Indiana. They're still going and going forward with it. But yeah, the caps, once you start it. But hey, the more the merrier, there's more waste that's being diverted. So
yeah, exactly. Does anyone have a question for any of us before we do get kicked off of here?
We got 2 minutes.
Everyone's good?
Well, always feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. If anybody have questions, it's what we're here to do. So
share away. Carrie's recording this, so we're gonna hopefully share this on our Facebook page once it gets uploaded. And go to Coshocton, Fairfield, Licking, Perry Solid Waste District Educators YouTube page. It's the letters CFLP SWDED. And there's some really cool lessons we did together that we would love for you guys to see and share with others. It kind of is the essence of what we're all talking about here today, in a nutshell.
And yeah, so share away. And other than that, stay safe out there. Wash your hands, wear a mask, and take care, you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Everyone, take care. Bye.
Bye.